Hi there guys, it's Tony here from Caveman Props. Well, I'm back today with another tutorial, though I'm not quite sure if it's a tutorial, it's more of a demonstration. This has come from a question I was received on Facebook. It's something I've mentioned before, and somebody had asked the question what toy mods were. And the simple fact of this is where you kind of make a prop or an item for cosplay with the toys that you can buy in the shop based on films and TV series. It's come a long way in the past few years. Obviously electronics have got a bit smaller, so some of the props are now looking more like the props that are seen in the film, so the toys are a lot closer, especially with the introduction of 3D printing. I did a toy mod quite a while ago on the Kylo Ren lightsaber. Now this was really quite accurate because the Kylo Ren lightsaber was 3D printed, so when it came to the toy manufacturers, they gave them the 3D files and then they just had to make a slight couple of modifications to fit within the toy. So it was almost perfectly identical to the original prop. Obviously it was made in plastic, so the toy modding is what we do, is where we treat the plastic and get it and paint it back up and make it look like either a screen use prop or a real item and give it more of a metallic look. Now to work on that today, I'm going to be doing a katana, and this is a simple toy katana I bought. This literally cost me £1. As you can see, it's very simple, but it's got some really nice detailing in with the dragon on there and the detailing in on the end bits. But obviously it's just a plastic toy and the wrap's not particularly great on the handle, but it does kind of have a blade, so it's a small one there for children. But what we can do is we're going to repaint this and make it look a little bit more realistic, and obviously being a plastic toy, it then becomes con safe as well, so you can take it to conventions. But we should be able to get this looking reasonably good, that you could probably have it on your mantelpiece and people will think it might be a real one. So I'm going to take you through the steps now that we're going to do with that, because obviously we can't just paint straight onto plastics. We're going to have to treat this first. So we're going to crack on with that. I'm going to show you through this step by step. Right, so our first job that we're going to do is we're going to start taking this apart as best as we can. So obviously we have the sheath and the blade there. This is quite a good one. In fact, they're just caps that come off, and then that's literally just sellotaped on there. I'm not too worried about that. This wrap is terrible, not really that realistic, but looking at this, the detail on this is quite accurate, so I'm quite enjoying that. It's obviously this yep, that's just going to slide. Everything's going to come off quite nice and easily here, so I can break it down into the different parts. So we've got the two end caps, they're pretty much, they've just made the same end cap there and put them on the two ends. I'm going to get this paper off as well, so we're going to strip this back, take that off there. Yeah, so when you're looking at, sometimes if you can take them apart, you look for the right little screw so you can take bits and pieces apart, just so you can work on different areas of it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get some fine grit sandpaper, and we are going to go over all of this, because we just want to, this is quite a nice smooth texture on here, so we just want to take that off because we want to be able to paint onto it. So this smooth texture of the plastic won't always take the paint. So we're going to just give this a light sanding all the way over, the whole lot of it, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I'll strip this back. I wanted to get the paper bits off here and here. That was a little bit harder than I was expecting, so it's taken a little bit longer. So we're now ready to sort these out, and what we're going to do is use a little bit of sandpaper. We'll use a nice fine grit, and we're just going to sand over this plastic just to roughen the edges up. I'm going to have to go over the dragon here, but we want to be careful. We don't want to lose too much of that detail. We just want to scratch up a little bit of the edging of that. We're going to do the same with the blade and parts of the handle here. Obviously these two end caps are going to get the same treatment, so they're going to be a little bit rougher. And then with this, we're going to do the same with this, and what I'm going to do is try and pay attention to try and get rid of some of the bobbly details of here, get that a bit smooth. and to work on the outside here. So it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take a little while to get that all sanded down. And once we've done that, we're then going to hit everything with a coat of a plastic primer. Okay, so you might not be able to see this particularly well on the camera. You might not be able to see a difference, is what I'm saying, but I can quite clearly see a difference in this between what was just a straight plastic and what it is now. So this has been sanded, it was sprayed down with a plastic primer, which gave it a lovely sort of finish, and then I sprayed it again with a satin black, and that's given us this wonderful effect. It is a lot better now than it was. It still obviously is plastic, but hopefully with a few touches it will look a bit different. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the dragon, and what I've got here is I've got some antique gold paint, pretty much the same stuff but obviously in brush form, and I've got a couple of fine brushes, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of almost use like a dry brush technique, and we're going to paint the dragon in, adding some sort of texture to it. So we're just going to get the raised bits so the dark will still be there, and hopefully add some kind of effect to this. Obviously it needs to be done front and back, but obviously while it's laying this way we're just going to do the one at a time. So I'll put some towel down, obviously just to give a little bit of protect, and I'll just put some of the paint into the lid, make it a bit easier. So what we'll do is put some on, dab a bit off, and as you can see what we're going to do is we're going to work on these scales bits. So we're going to dry and brush it on, quite heavy, but you're still going to get that detailing of the dark underneath. So it's still going to be patterned and not all solid gold. So that's basically what we're going to do. So we're going to work around that with a few of the different size brushes. Obviously just try and get some of the smaller bits on. We're going to do that. So we're going to do the dragon gold on both sides. I'm thinking I want to do this strip in gold as well, so we're going to sort that out. So I'm going to carry on, get this dragon done, and then I'll show it to you. There you go, you can see I've finished the dragon there. So just by lightly dry brushing over the top, we really make the dragon come out, because you're leaving all the little lower rested details dark, so that really kind of adds to that little gilded dragon that's going to be on there. So I've painted this end bit as well, and basically I'm going to let that dry. We're going to do the dragon on the other side, and then we're going to finish off the blade and we can start assembly. So there we go, we've got the blade sprayed up a nice silver. I've also continued the handle on with the gold. This is going to be wrapped, so you won't see so much of this, but I just decided to carry on with the gold. You can go with whatever colour you want. Now I'm going to try a little experiment here. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. When you look at proper samurai swords, there's like a little curving on the edge of the blade here. It's where it's been sharpened. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and attempt to recreate that on our plastic one. And what I'm going to do is I've taken this piece of masking tape and put it on the cutting mat here, and using the squares I've basically drawn this curved shape here. They're never going to be even, they're never going to be exact because of the way that it's sharpened. So doing it roughly, and obviously I've tried to peel out these middle bits. So we've got it all cut like that, and what I'm going to attempt to do is we're going to put this along the edge of the blade here to mask just this bottom piece off, and then I've got another silver, it's a slightly darker silver. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give that a light spray over the top, so it's not going to make it too different, but then when I take the masking tape off you should see this little ever so faint ridge in here to give it that more authentic look. So we're going to try and get this on. I'll show it to you, and then I'll show it to you after I've sprayed it with a slightly darker silver. Alright, so there we are. So I've added the masking tape to that. That's what it's going to look like. So I'm now going to just mask off the handle, give this another spray, leave it a good day to dry, and then we're going to have a look and see what it looks like. If it fails, I'll let you know, and we'll just redo the blade again silver. So we're going to sort that out now, and then I'll move on to the next part. So I've done that one. On this side you can kind of see it. It is ever so faint, but you can see it running down to the end here, the little lines. On this side I don't think I really did it quite enough. You can see it when you turn the blade into the light, so you can see some of it down here, but it's not quite so there. So it was a bit of an experiment, see how it goes. This side has come out quite nice, so maybe I needed to probably just do a little bit more. I didn't want to overdo it and ruin it, but there we go. So live and you learn. So that's the blade sorted. What we're going to do now is we're going to work on the handle. So we're going to rewrap the handle, and I've got something we're going to do that with. The old material I took off of it wasn't particularly great, so I've got something new for that. And here, this is what I've got for it. It is basically just a shoelace, but it is a extra long for boots flat shoelace, and we're going to use this to wrap the handle. So I've been watching some videos on how to properly Japanese wrap the handles. Unfortunately, no one talks you through it, so I've had to watch several videos and try and work out for myself what we're going to be doing. And I am going to be using some super glue for it. So what we need to do first, we need to work out the middle. So we've got the middle, and I'm going to cheat with the super glue because the professional people that do it are really good and can hold it. I can't. So what we're going to do is put a little bit of glue on this side. If you notice the handles like this, when you come around, the diamonds are on a slightly different angle, so that indicates where we can start wrapping. So we want to start with this one. So I'm going to put a tiny little super glue, find the middle, and that's going to go in. We're going to attempt it. So what we do now is we bring it round to the other side. I might super glue this again, and what we do is we take, so we start with this one, we twist it, so the twist is in the middle there, and then line it up next to that one. So they wrap, the sides should all be completely covered and only the grip is in the middle. So we take that, twist it, like that, and that's clear with that one again. So if we turn it over, see, we're now on the same again. So twist that one to that side, this one, twist it so it's in the middle, that's it, and put it round flat to the side. So we're going to carry this on and try and get this all the way down to the end of the handle here, stick them off at the end, and then hopefully we can start assembling. Okay, here we go. So I've finished that. It was obviously quite time consuming and I managed to work it down quite well. I'm actually really pleased with how this came out. I think it came out looking really good. It's looking a lot more professional than what was on there originally. So we've got the side bits down, all the little twists going around. It's not perfect, but it's kind of my first go of doing it. So hopefully I've tried to explain it a little bit better than what the other tutorials was. They were just doing it, and they were doing it really quick. So there we are. So that's that, and obviously I put the cap on here that's securing these in place there while that dries. So basically all we've got now left to do is to put it all together. So I've got the ring guard there. It should go down to the handle like that. Ooh, it's looking good. And obviously I've already done this, so we've done the dry brushing of the dragon here. I've got a little bit of the gold on there, that's not too much of a problem. And obviously I put the cap on here and painted this end bit gold. So that finished, so I should now be able to put this all together and show it off. But there we go, that's basically how we do the toy mods. I'm going to take some decent pictures of this. We're going to put it on our Facebook page for you to have a look at, so you can see that even better. I'll get some daylight onto it. But let us know what you think of that. That's basically how we take a toy and make it into slightly more of a better prop. This was a samurai sword, but you can use some of the techniques that I've used here to create other props from toys. So there we go. So please please subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you've got any questions, obviously please ask them. Check out our Facebook page, and I should hopefully see you in the next tutorial very soon.